Hello everyone, we are on the 31st Sunday in Ordinary Time. Last week I couldn't upload my homily because of the Holy Communion. This weekend I'm actually giving a retreat in the previous parish I have been serving. So I won't be able to record and then put it up on online. So I thought I will do the homily outside of Sunday Mass. And we have been journeying with Jesus on these Sundays of Ordinary Time, reflecting some of the core messages in discipleship. We reflected on the attachment to power. We reflected on the attachment to wealth. And last week we reflected on the attachment to being a victim. Like Bartimaeus didn't want to be a victim of his circumstances. So he cries out and jump towards Jesus, and he wants to be healed and be on the path along with Jesus and then face life. So we reflected on that. And again, as Jesus journeying in the Mark's Gospel, we see that as Jesus journeying to Jerusalem, he's teaching his disciples what is the core of being a Christian. And this week we come across the core message of the gospel. It is actually the core message of the Gospel of John in chapter 15, where it says, by your love others will know that you are my disciples, and no one has greater love than lay down his life. Such messages of Jesus. The same way, as he approaches Jerusalem, he's teaching his disciples that what it is meant to be a Christian is to love God with all our heart, mind, and soul, love our neighbor. There is an interesting tension in this Sunday's gospel. It is the tension between being a spiritual person and being a moral person. Do I have to be a spiritual person? Do I have to love God in order to do good? I can be a very good, kind, compassionate person without being a lover of God, a spiritual person. And we see that in our school system, in our secular culture, where they push Christ out of it and takes all the values of Christianity in terms of kindness, compassion, all this cultural Christianity they aspire to. Even John Dawkins recently said he's a cultural Christian. Now, the tension between spirituality and morality. I don't want to give sort of arguments from a philosophical point of view, but let me go into experiential level. I have an Instagram account. I don't follow many people, and not many people follow me too, and I'm not putting up anything substantial in there. But there is one particular person I follow. It's Laura Browning Grant. And Laura is a lovely young person. She's married to Johnny Grant. In 2017, Johnny, a Navy SEAL, they're from America, he met with an accident which made him completely bedridden, unable to walk or talk or anything. He had a brain injury. And this was a very crucial moment in their marriage. They'd just been married, very early stages in their life. And to me, Laura is an example of the gospel today. That she's a Christian, has deep faith in God. He upholds God more than above everything. But from her faith flows an unconditional love that for the last 5 years, I have been following them on Instagram. She's not so regular in posting their updates, but I could see how much she sacrifice her life. She's a Pilates trainer. She sacrificed her career. She started to look after John. And for his rehabilitation, Johnny, who was completely bedridden, written off, now is able to walk, slowly talk, and she is experimenting all sorts of treatment and all sorts of avenues for his rehabilitation. To me, that is spirituality and morality. One of the core message of Christianity is that the greatest love is laying down our lives. We read that in John chapter 15, 13. No one has greater love than lay down one's life for us. Like sacrificial love. Now I have seen that is in my parents too, my mom and my dad. My mom has got Parkinson, but I could see my dad, who is a very traditional, patriarchal sort of guy who never went into kitchen or cook anything. When my mom got sick, I could see this vulnerable, soft side of my dad, who is willing to sacrifice his time, his space, his energy. But you know what touches me the most, that every morning he goes to mass and then he would hear these Eucharistic words, eat my body, drink my blood, and from that Eucharist, he comes home and look after my mother, and he passed away, he is no more. But to me, again, it's a very simple, just a slight example from experiential love. For us Catholics, our love is very Eucharistic. And what do I mean by Eucharist? It's bread broken, blood poured out. There is this breaking of our energy, our life, our time, our talent, and pouring out of all that we have, our space and our resources, so that other people who may not be able to receive, who may not be able to source themselves, may through our sacrifice get energized and get alive. That's what Jesus said. Through his love we have life, life in abundance. So for us, morality or being a morally good person does not stand in a vacuum, but we find our love is modeled by the love Christ has for us. So as we reflect and move forward with our Sunday masses towards proclaiming Christ the King towards the end of the liturgy and liturgical year, and then into Advent, let us continue to pray and kind of reflect upon Christ's sacrificial love as we celebrate this Sunday Mass. Let us keep listening to that words of Jesus. This is my body broken for you. This is my blood poured out for you. So that from that source of love, we go out and try our best to love even when it hurts. God bless you and have a wonderful Sunday. Pray for me and I will pray for you too. Bye-bye.